In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use a Logic app to update an Azure resource. You could actually use it to create the resource as well, but I'll show you the update because it's dead easy. Okay, so I've got a storage account here that I've created just for this demo, and I've got a blank Logic app as well. What we want to do in this is enable SFTP, which is a service within this type of storage account when you choose a hierarchical namespace. So SFTP is an option here. It's currently disabled, and that's fine. It will cost you money when SFTP is enabled. So in some of the projects that I'm doing, I just want this to be enabled for a short period of time and then closed down. So we're going to do that in the Logic app. So let's go to our Logic app. I'll edit that, and let's put in a HTTP trigger. The next action that we want is an Azure resource. So let's have a look at the resource actions. So we use the Azure Resource Manager. If we have a look at the More button for that and scroll down, there's a whole bunch of methods here that we can call, including reading a resource, and that's kind of useful to find out what a resource can support and do. But we also want to look at the create or update a resource. Let's do the read a resource first. Like I say, it's kind of useful just to make sure that this works. And we're just going to use OAuth for now, and that will use my account. So we'll fill in where the resource is. And this one is a storage account. And then we need the short ID of the resource. So let's go and grab that from the storage account name. So we can find that short name by looking at Resource Explorer, which is another handy tool that Microsoft provide in the portal. So let's go into the subscriptions, the resource group, and then we expand this to find the resource. So we'll look at the storage account, and you'll be able to see the full IDs as well as the short. So we'll be looking for the short name, which is this. That's the short ID. But it's useful to note that all these properties are the things that we're going to start seeing when we read the resource back. So let's fill that ID in. And the API version, difficult to know what that is. I'm just going to bung in a number, 2023-01-01. That is in their documentation, but I wish there was a better way of figuring that out from this point. Let's save that and then run it. And we should be able to see the payload come back. Okay, so we can see in the outputs pretty much what we saw in the Resource Explorer. We've got those properties that contain all the information about the resource that's been set up. One of those properties is the is SFTP enabled property. So that's the one we actually want to set to true. So what we'll do in the next step is add an action block to the Azure Resource Manager, and we'll do a create or update on the resource. Fill in the same details that we just did to read the resource. And still storage. Then you need to tell it what you're going to be updating. Obviously, this is just a storage account, and for some resources like a web app server, you'll want to, maybe you'll be scaling the resource up, so you can change the SKU tier and the capacity, that type of thing. So those might be the options that you're setting for those. In this case, it's a property of the resource that we're going to change. So I'll tick property, And I do actually know that location is one of the settings that it wants you to set. That's a required field. So we'll choose the location. So that was UK South that this one is based in. And we just need to grab the property that we want to update. So let's tab over, and in the properties we're looking for is SFTP enabled. That's the one we want. So we'll copy that, tab back. I'm going to update it by saying that. I'm going to set it to true. So finding that JSON there should to switch that property over. It doesn't overwrite all the other properties that are in there, so you can safely just toggle one of them without wiping the rest out. Okay, let's save that and run it. So it ran successfully. Now if we go and look at the storage account, it's in here, and we look at SFTP, now that's enabled. Switch to disabling it. So we know the Logic app actually changed that value and started up SFTP. So that's it. It's relatively straightforward. You can see how to get the information you need from the current resource and then how to go and update it. I hope this video helped. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.